Is there a looming threat of foreclosures on the horizon? What's going to happen this year in the spring market? And what factors do you really need to consider if you were thinking about buying this year? This is the Market Brew. Hi everyone, Mike Tilford here. You may have noticed some headlines lately about the looming threat of foreclosures and how that will have a major impact on the real estate marketplace. Yes, it's true that foreclosures in 2022 more than doubled from 2021. On the surface, this statistic sounds horrifying, but statistics are a funny thing. Here's a graph showing foreclosure filings between 2017 and 2022. As you can see, foreclosure filings did indeed more than double in the last year, but when displayed like this, you can probably see why it's not as scary as it sounds. 2017 to 2019 were the last 3 years prior to the COVID-19 outbreak. The average number of foreclosure filings during these 3 normal years were just shy of 600,000 filings per year. We were just a bit over half that in 2022. But what about all the doomsayers saying that this will be a repeat of the 2007 crash? Well, what do you think? At the peak of the market crash, there were 2.9 million foreclosure filings within the US. We are currently sitting at about 11% of that number. So what should we expect with foreclosure filings moving forward? There may be a temporary increase over that average 600,000 number in the immediate future. Look at the years 2020 through 2022. There are about 1.1 million homes during that time that would have been foreclosed on were it a typical year, that were not due to the foreclosure moratorium. Many of these homes are still underwater and will likely face foreclosure in the future. So if you take all these backdated foreclosures along with the estimated 600,000 per year average, the number of foreclosures may shoot up over 1 million, but this will only be temporary. The spring buying season is just around the corner, but will things pick up this year? Unfortunately, things aren't off to a good start, and there are 3 reasons for that. Inventory, inventory, inventory. Nobody wants to sell their house this year, and I can't really blame them. The last couple of years, interest rates were at historic lows, and many homeowners chose to refinance their homes. I'm also a certified residential appraiser. When I say there were a lot of refinances over the last couple of years, believe me, there were so many. In 20 years, I have never been so busy in my life. I turned down about 5 deals for every 1 that I accepted. It was just too much work. With that said, a lot of homeowners are sitting on a pretty sweet interest rate right now. We're talking in the 2% to low 3% range. It's very unappealing to say the least to lose that rate and take on a rate in the high 6% to 7% range in a new house. So I understand why inventory is as low as it is. But it's not all doom and gloom for buyers because inventory is slowly coming back, and despite what the misleading y-axis shows on this graph, inventory is only down 15.9% from last year. But keep in mind the last year also had really low inventory, as did 2021. But there are less buyers in the marketplace, so if you can qualify for a loan this year, you will have a much easier time purchasing than you had over the prior couple of years. So everything going on in the market is just noise right now. Nobody can predict the future with any level of certainty, so why even try? If the most pressing question you have right now is now a good time to buy or should I wait? You need to ask yourself these 2 questions. Is my household currently in a stable financial position? This includes having a down payment available as well as sufficient savings should some unforeseen personal situations occur. And number 2, do I plan on living in this area or neighborhood for at least the next 3 to 5 years? If your answer to both of these questions is a yes, then it may make sense for you to buy a home right now. If you are uncertain about either of these questions or you answer no to at least one, then it may be prudent to wait. Outside of some major external factor, the time to purchase a home is when your life events merit purchasing. Home prices will fluctuate both up and down, but over the long term, homes typically do appreciate in value. Do keep in mind that past performance is no indication of future success, but if you are looking at the difference between renting and buying, owning a home over the long term will always win out, as your monthly payments are being used towards building personal equity and not enriching your landlord. Look at how the housing market has performed historically over the prior 30 years. The average home price within the United States increased approximately 289.1%. Here in California, we're doing a little better with an average increase of 300% over the prior 30 years. Will home prices ultimately keep increasing over time? Nobody can say with absolute certainty. However, to the long-term homeowner, this is an opportunistic market. Many times we get caught trying to time the market. In reality, time in the market is more important than timing the market. Well, that's it for today. I'll see you next time. And as always, I'm never too busy for your referrals.